What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and in today's video I want to take a look at a tempting offensive line change that I don't think the New York Jets should take. So there's been some debate recently about moving Elijah Vera-Tucker back to tackle and drafting an interior offensive lineman on day 2 to fix the offensive line. As of right now, the Jets still have a hole at right tackle. It's not a guarantee who will start there, and there's many ways to go about fixing it. You can either find your right tackle or find an interior player in the draft and move Elijah Vera-Tucker back to the right side. In fact, Connor Rogers, who I respect a great deal with his draft takes, works for Badlands, works for NBC Sports, and a whole ton of other places, brought up the idea of drafting guard Tate Ratledge in the 3rd round and having AVT as the right tackle. And while, yes, that is a route that the Jets could go to fix the offensive line, it's not really the route that I would prefer for the New York Jets. There was an interesting set of statistics tweeted out by LI Jets on Twitter, who pointed out the Jets' interior offensive line ranks and what they're projected to be in 2025. If it stays John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, and Elijah Vera-Tucker, they were really good a year ago. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's essentially what I wanted to look at today. So let's start with Elijah Vera-Tucker, who had a pressure rate of 2.75%, which is 5th in the NFL for guards, pass block efficiency 98.3%, and run block grade was 76.3, which is 12th in the NFL. As for Joe Tippmann, pressure rate 3.44%, which is 13th, 97.9 pass block efficiency, which is 17th, and run block grade 77.3, which is 7th. So he was a top half the league center in year 2. Should take another step in improvement in year 3. Then you get to John Simpson, 3.13% pressure rate, 9th pass block efficiency rate was 10th, and his run block grade of 79.2 was 9th in the NFL for guards. So Simpson and Elijah Vera-Tucker, that duo, was a top 10 unit in the NFL a year ago, and their center in year 2 took a step up to being a average center and potentially a top half the league guy. I would think Tippmann gets better year over year. And I would also think that we see an improvement from the other 2 guys at guard because it's another year of playing together plus improved coaching, I think is going to make a big difference for the New York Jets there as well. The motto I brought up before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I think applies here. And from left tackle to right guard, I would say it's certainly not broken when you have Olu Fashanu penciled in at left tackle all the way over to right guard. That seems like it's set and should be a good unit. They still have to find the right tackle, and that could make or break the unit, but you have a lot to really like from left tackle to right guard. And you know what? Maybe that does force the Jets' hand to draft Armand Membou in round 1 over Tyler Warren. And that's a sacrifice that I'd be willing to make if it keeps the interior of the offensive line together. Even if the idea is if they want to take Tyler Warren, which honestly, that's the guy that I really like in round 1. But even let's say they still want to take Warren, the playmaker, the idea of taking a day 2 right tackle and having them compete with Chuck Okorafor is a sacrifice I'd make to continue to keep this group together as is. I don't love the shuffling around on the offensive line that we've seen so often from the New York Jets over the years. And yes, Elijah Vera-Tucker can play tackle. He's done it. He's played 4 of the 5 positions on the line, excluding center. But I'd rather just find a spot for him, which right guard seems to be his spot, and let him play and develop there and continue to get better year over year. And it would save the Jets significant money on the next contract. At right tackle versus right guard, the market is drastically different. The highest paid right guard is $23.4 million per year. Do I think he's going to break that number? No, I certainly don't, but would it likely fall if he plays guard, so 15 to 17 games and is good again? Would he get 18 to 20 million on a new contract? Probably. But if you compare that to right tackle and the top paid right tackles in the league, you got Tristan Wirfs at $28.125 million, and you got Penei Sewell up there at $28 million also. Do I think it's going to be at that level? Probably not, but 25 million plus for a good tackle, even if it is right tackle versus left. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to cost you. So you could be saving upwards of $5 to $8 million a year on the position, if not more. If you're looking at 18 for guard and 28 for tackle, that's $10 million. That's the difference between, landing an Andre Sisco to be another starter for you or trying to shop in the bargain bin. And again, I just think with Elijah Vera-Tucker, yes, he can play the position, but he's been better at guard in the league. And I'm not even saying like the injury thing, which is something that, concerns some Jet fans. They go, oh, well, he got hurt at right tackle in Denver both years. And the injuries weren't connected. One was a tricep injury. The other was an Achilles pop. That could happen, anywhere, unfortunately. But Elijah Vera-Tucker has also got banged up at guard before in the past. So it's not like, oh, he has a clean bill of health at guard and only gets hurt at tackle. That's not really a fair description. But that's not the reasoning behind it. The reasoning behind me coming on here today and saying that I would rather the New York Jets keep Elijah Vera-Tucker at right guard is because the consistency from a year ago and them growing and building continuity as a unit, that's so important for an offensive line today. And if they do take an Armand Membu in the first round, you'd have a really young offensive line with the upside of being a top 10 unit in the sport. It would be that much of a difference. And again, I just think that makes more sense for the Jets to worry about finding right tackle in the draft. Don't create another hole for yourself by playing a guy out of position and then trying to fill it with a Band-Aid middle round pick. That's not the route that I would go. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Should the Jets keep Elijah Vera-Tucker at right guard? Should they move him to right tackle and draft a guard? What do you do here? Let me know in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.